What is really difficult to get down into understanding domestic violence is that so much of domestic violence is not physical. Domestic violence is a pattern of coercive behavior, meaning there are all sorts of behaviors that a abuser will use to try and get and maintain power and control against their victim. It is about the individual who is choosing to use those behaviors. And the use of physical violence is most often a tool in the toolbox to maintain. Okay, I've told you what I want you to do. I've told you how I want you to behave. You've stepped outside of that line. I'm going to hit you to remind you that this is what's going on. It starts out with, are you sure you want to wear that today?
Oh.
Are you sure you want to go out of the house looking like that? That kind of subtle behavior over time, and your reaction to that was perfect, Kathleen, because it's like, oh, I never thought about that, but now I have to think about it.
And I'm self-conscious about it. And now I feel a little bit less confident about myself as I'm going out to wherever I'm going.
Exactly. So that seems minor, little, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But over time, you have those messages, constant messages. And you begin to think, nothing I do is right. I don't understand what's going on. No one else appreciates me. No one believes, so it really is it's a mind game. But actually the much more subtle behaviors, the emotional abuse, which is talking about you're not a good housekeeper, you're not a good cook, you don't look good in that outfit. Yeah. Why do you hang out with those people who don't like me? Mm-hmm. Why don't you just do what I say?
Yeah.
I'm in charge of the money. I will decide how we spend the money. You don't need to worry about any of that. All of those kinds of behaviors, if we pay attention to them, we will see them a lot more in our daily life.
Yes.
Isolation is a significant tool. When we work with young people, one of the first things we're talking about teen dating violence, is that keeping you, wanting all your time, wanting all your attention. Mm-hmm. If you love me, you're going to be with me. I want to be with you all the time. I care so much about you. You're the most important thing that's ever come into my life. Sounds wonderful, right?
Right.
But really, it's a tactic. It's a very deliberate tactic to say to an individual, you are mine, and I want you all to myself. And so I think that when you hear those messages over time, at first it sounds really wonderful, but after a while you begin to feel like, this isn't right, but I don't know what's right anymore.
Right.
And the isolation is a huge part of what's going on in keeping people from reaching out, from feeling confident in talking. People on the outside will think, well, you've got a great relationship. They want to be with you all the time. They take care of you.
Which just further breaks down the victim, because she thinks, well, now I really can't say anything because they think everything's perfect. And so is the problem with me for thinking that I'm not happy?
Right.
Maybe he is great.
Right.
If you have any questions about receiving domestic violence services, how to talk to someone that you think is in a domestic violence situation, any questions at all, please call Rainbow House 773-521-1815. We have the hotline. It's 24-hour crisis hotline. If you need emergency safety, call the number. If you're in the city of Chicago, it's 311.